I have to question him.
He's still freaked out. I don't think it's the right time.
Mr. Adams?
No. This can't be happening. What a nightmare. So much blood.
I've got a few questions.
I tried to help him. I told him we should call 911. I told him.
Mr. Adams, you need to calm down. You're not responsible for it. We all know that. So, come on now. I need some answers.
What an asshole. How dare you? A man died tonight.
Okay, I get it.
Leave me alone. I won't answer your questions. It's terrible. I just can't believe it. It's awful. I should have done more.
Sir, listen to me. It's all right. Calm down. You're safe and you did the right thing.
I did the right thing.
I need you to answer a few questions for me.
Yes, of course. What do you want to know?
Did you know Mr. Moore well?
We weren't friends, if that's what you're asking. But we got to know each other. With time. He was a creature of habit. Since he worked late, he would often ask me for things at night. A newspaper, batteries, ice. I think he asked me for just about everything. I prided myself on always being able to get what he needed, no matter what time it was. You'd have thought he pretty much lived after dark.
Like his clients. Did Mr. Moore have many visitors?
For a man with his status, it was nothing surprising. But, well...
Yes?
His visitors mostly came in the middle of the night. I must admit, that's a little unusual.
That's what working for us is like.
He told me he had a lot of foreign clients, and he had to juggle different time zones. That's what working from home is like. He had colleagues over for late-night meetings, too. But since little June was born, not as many people came around.
That was wise. Did he have any enemies that you were aware of?
No. He was a very respectable man. No bad company or anything.
Except for us. Without any disrespect to the deceased, were you aware of any extramarital affairs he may have had?
Mr. Moore was a good man. He would never have disrespected his wife, or even contemplated it, I'm sure.
She could have been okay with it. There were no young women coming and going.
That's a very inappropriate question. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Do you know his wife?
Mrs. Moore is a model resident. She always has something nice to say to the staff. And is the first to welcome new neighbors, too. A true lady.
Do you know where she is?
Mr. Moore told me she'd gone to their home in Costa Rica. She goes there pretty often. She's an architect, and she likes to work in her home country. She has family there.
Do you think anyone could have been so angry with her that they could have taken it out on her husband?
Oh, no. I don't think so. It's true that lots of people could have been jealous of her. But not to that point.
Do you think she could have been having an affair?
She's a very respectable woman who loves her husband very much. I don't know what sick kind of world you live in.
And you would certainly not like to find out.
They had their ups and downs, just like any couple. The staff had noticed that she went to Costa Rica fairly often without her husband.
Was she thinking of leaving him?
Not at all. Just the opposite. She begged him to spend more time with her and their daughter.
I imagine the girl left with her mother?
Not at all. It was the start of the school year, and Mrs. Moore left 2 weeks ago. I haven't seen her since Monday, when Mr. Moore took her to school on the first day. She must be staying with a friend. Poor little thing. Thank heaven she wasn't here.
Do you know his bodyguards?
Yeah, there's Jack, James, and Wu. But you won't hear me singing their praises.
Why not?
Oh, they're good at strutting around and acting tough when everything is going well. But where were they tonight? Can you tell me that? That was their job, right? They were paid to protect him.
What do you mean by acting tough?
More than once I overheard them talking to Mr. Moore, like they were his boss. The world upside down.
They worked for us, just like your dear Mr. Moore.
I hope they won't find another job anytime soon.
Tell me about the evening again, please. What happened tonight?
Mr. Moore left with his 3 bodyguards earlier in the evening. One of them got in the car, and Mr. Moore came down around midnight.
And then?
They came back around 2 a.m. Mr. Moore was limping. He was leaning on one of his bodyguards, and he was bleeding.
Was he injured?
I told him I could call an ambulance or a doctor, but he didn't answer. I went closer to insist, but Wu told me they were in control of the situation, that it was no big deal. They went upstairs, and I saw drops of blood in front of the elevator. I told myself they were being unreasonable. What did those 2 goons know about it? So I called Mr. Moore on the internal line, several times.
Did he pick up?
Not once. So I went upstairs and rang the doorbell, but nobody answered. So I went back down to the front desk and I called you.
The lieutenant told me there was an access to the basement.
Yes, using the service elevator through the kitchen. You need a magnetic pass to use it. I gave the spare to your colleagues who wanted to go down there. I still have the original. Do you want it?
Please. Thank you for your statement.
You have to find out who did this, officer. Justice needs to be done for him. And for his family.
And we need to find out who's messing with us. That's what we're here for. You can count on us. Stick around in case we have more questions. My sire always said that at a prince's court, like in a game of chess, you must know when to sacrifice your pawns.
Did you find anything?
We're waiting for the forensics. Poor kid. You must be Smith.
Yes.
Rickman.
Have you found anything?
Not yet. This is the girl's room. There's no sign of her. I guess that's a good thing.
I'm going to take a look around. Let me know if you find anything.
Okay, Smith.
A bathroom with a shower and a tub. June's father spoils her. Did you inherit your mother's artistic talent, June? I've never been in this part of the apartment before. Beryl, will you ever change? I understand better now. The prince asked more for a complete report on the members of the Primogen. Someone tossed a bunch of stuff in this bag, in a hurry to leave. A cell phone. Locked, of course. Poems in Lydia's mother tongue. Bottle of disinfectant, obviously handled by someone who was bleeding. It must have been used to dress a wound. A drafting table. That must be Lydia's desk. The blueprints of a house on the west coast of Costa Rica. Pura Vida Extension Project. Nobody told me there would be a retainer here. The ghoul who was searching here was looking for something specific. The ghoul who was searching here was looking for something specific. Ugh, what a mess. A fortress security catalog. They install highly secure rooms. Ugh, what a mess. What are you playing at?
Oh, I beg your pardon?
Don't mess with me. Who are you?
Calm down, Mr. Bazori. I meant no disrespect. I work for the council.
Why would the council have sent her without warning me?
Most of the time, they send me to clean up.
Are you behind this?
No, I got here after it happened.
What's that file you've got?
Oh, an account file. Have it. Here you go.
Okay. Let's see how much she knows. All right. What have you found?
Oh, I'm a little embarrassed. I'm not really allowed to talk about my missions.
I don't have time for this. Give me what you have.
Like I said, Mr. Bazori, I'm here on behalf of the council. You know as well as I do that if you don't know about it already, you're not supposed to.
Think very carefully about what you're going to say, Lane. I'll ask you one more time. What are you doing here?
You're putting me in an awkward position.
You know our rules. You know you don't have a choice. What are you playing at?
I appreciate your consideration. I know that my life is in the balance.
I'm listening.
I was sent to get Mr. Moore and his papers.
But why didn't the prince tell me? I don't know what's going on, but I really don't have time to lose.
What do
You can be sure I'll report this to both the council and the prince.
No, please. I don't have a choice. I beg you. I'm only following orders. If you complain about me, I'm done for. Promise me you won't tell anyone about it. Please. I've always been a loyal servant of the council. I'm risking my life.
You're right.
I really don't want to.
So be it. This will be our secret. Fine. If we've both got to be here, we might as well work together.
Well, I've already searched the wife's office. Nothing. Then I went through his office. It looks like someone has already cleaned it up. I didn't find anything. I'm working on the bookshelf in this hallway, and I found something here.
What?
A file on the domain's finances the council would rather not see end up in the police's hands.
Give it to me. I must return to the court tonight.
There's no need, sir. I have to destroy them.
Listen, have you thought about what you want? Your career?
I know how to stay in my place. I can't think. I must obey my master, no matter the cost.
Quit stalling, Lahane. Give me the files.
I'm sorry, I can't. Sorry. I've got orders, Mr. Bazori. Lieutenant, over here!
What is it, Lane?
I just found these files. We need to take them to the Financial Crimes Unit. Come with me to the elevator, and I'll show you, sir. Let's go.
I'll be seeing you soon, Sergeant Lahane. Deeds, stock portfolios. Moore doesn't just manage the Camaria's business. A Boston manufacturer's files. This is where I met Moore for the first time.
Officer Baker, can I help you?
Were you the first person to arrive at the scene of the crime?
Yes, sir. My partner and I were the first to get here.
Just tell me about it.
We got the call around 2:20. The caretaker had called because a resident was injured. It took us about 20 minutes to get here. The poor guy was in a panic. He told us he'd seen one of the tenants, Jason Moore, enter the building, and he looked hurt. He was being held up by his 2 bodyguards, and he was bleeding a lot.
Did he see the wound?
Yeah, he said the victim was holding his right hip. So I went upstairs with the caretaker. We saw blood in the elevator and on the landing. I rang the doorbell, but nobody answered, so the caretaker opened the door. I identified myself. There were traces of blood leading down the hall away from the entrance, and just after that, I found the decapitated body.
Did your partner come with you?
No, he stayed in the foyer to secure the entrance to the building.
Did you touch the body?
No. There was nothing I could do to help him, so I secured the scene. I put my gloves on to take his ID out of his jacket pocket so we could identify him. Then I called it in.
Where was the caretaker during that time?
I told him not to come inside, but he followed me. When he saw the corpse, he was really shaken. He wouldn't let go of me.
Then what did you do?
I called for backup. They told me that forensics would get here as soon as they could. They were out at another case. That was their top priority.
After that?
I secured the entrance to the apartment.
Were you able to find the bodyguards?
No, there was nobody here. But they must be somewhere. We're looking. After that, I searched the ground floor. There was nobody around. But from the looks of things, somebody searched the apartment. When Sergeant Lehane got here, she took care of upstairs. It's a good thing, too, because it took everyone else another 15 minutes to get here. She didn't find anyone there.
So there's no sign of the family then?
Nothing. The place is empty.
If you remember anything else, let me know.
Of course.
It was my greatest pleasure before. Now everything tastes like ashes.
I should put some money on that. I should put some money on that.
An auction. Acquisition of Lot 87. Dejan Siaka. A trumpet belonging to Don Ellis. Dejan, are you making plans in case things go south? Or are you planning to leave us? Fine vintages imported from Europe. Moore knew how to treat his guests.